All right, so now for our second example of partial fraction decomposition. I'm going to give it to you already factored just to make it go a little bit faster, since that's not the part I hope we need practice with. So I'm going to give you 7x over 2x minus 3 times x plus 2 dx as what you're integrating. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing my scratch work over here. It has to equal sum a over the first factor, 2x minus 3, plus sum b over the second factor, x plus 2. And one thing I do want to point out is that it is possible for us to have nonlinear factors, like if it had been an x plus 2 squared in the denominator instead of two separate types. But in Calculus BC, you're not going to be tested on anything but non-repeating linear factors. So you'll never come across that situation in this class, but it definitely exists. Okay, so I'm going to do some setup work here. Alright, so I know that a is going to be multiplied by x plus 2 because that's what it's missing. B is going to be multiplied by 2x minus 3 because that's what it is missing. So we're going to end up with that loveliness. And now we have the same denominator on both sides, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of get rid of that part and focus on the numerator. So I'm going to get ax plus 2a plus 2bx minus 3b. Okay, so a couple things here. I need to get my like terms together so I can factor out the linear term and then have the constants move to the end. So for my linear term, I have an ax and I have a 2bx. So I'm going to rewrite that as a plus 2b x, and then I have a plus 2a and a minus 3b as my constants. Now, on the left side, you'll notice I don't have, here I have two pieces, here I only have one thing. So a lot of times they may not write it in, and we kind of have to think, all right, well this is essentially the same as 7x plus, and then my constant is simply 0 if I don't have one. So now we can set up our systems so we know that the linear coefficient has to be a plus 2b, which has to equal 7. And then my constant, 2a minus 3b, has to equal 0. Okay, so again, it's just a system. It doesn't matter if you solve for a or b first. Hopefully this will be like very satisfying, because now that you're in BC Calculus and we're doing crazy math all the time, this is kind of like that comforting math back from the beginning of high school. We miss it sometimes, I know. Alright, so I'm going to get 7b equals 14, so b equals 2. I'm going to come over here and plug that in. So 7 minus 4 is 3, which is a. Okay, so back to the original problem up here. We had 7x over 2x minus 3 times x plus 2 dx. I have now found a way to rewrite that, where over 2x minus 3, I have a 3, and then over x plus 2, I have a 2. Alright, so now we can do our integral. So that's going to be a 3 for the coefficient, and then the chain rule would give me an extra 2 I don't need. So I'm going to divide that out. Okay, I'm going to get a 2 coefficient here, no issues with the chain rule. And then our plus c. And that's it.